So we have Salerno 43 set up here. Look at the map. Turn 1 before the invasion. Units down here. This is a campaign, well, 2 scenarios in here that runs from turn 1 to turn 8, and then or run all the way to the campaign of 22 turns. This is a nice Mark 7-inch in his 40 series, 1 mapper, 1 sheet of counters, so very small, very compact game, and we'll see how it goes. Start on turn 1. So this is the beginning of turn 2, September 10th, here at Salerno. The Allies landed and stayed concentrated, and didn't really allow anybody to get picked off on the clear hexes. Tried to reorganize a defense on the side, and then the Allied turn pushed up, just up to these hexes here, and blocked here. May have been a good or a bad idea, I don't know. But with further away from the beaches, the naval guns can't give support to the Allies, so wondering if the Germans can do a counterattack up here, kind of whittle away, or save their units and move into the hills. So onward to turn 2. So this is the status at the beginning of turn 4. Here the Germans brought up units here, kind of disrupted this unit here, but didn't do much. Allies didn't do anything to push out of Salerno, but it is keeping them from getting supply here. Allies did push the Germans out of that hex, kind of forming a line here. The Germans also forming a line. The Americans here pushed further up along here, pushing out this unit, but it got replaced at the beginning of this turn. Trying to keep the formations tight with the units coming in, and this little hex and road is keeping this guy alive. They have to take this for 1 point this turn, or we're going to be behind, or for the benchmark is now being calculated from turn 4 on, so the pressure for the Allies is going to tick up significantly. The Germans didn't really do much attacking, but as their reinforcements are coming in, and the Allies, everything is on until turn 5. So we'll see how the Allies hold. Because if they start losing victory points, the game basically is over for them. So, interesting little game so far. So this is turn 5. The US player actually took that point, pushed the Germans out of this area into the hills. The Germans are holding this line, getting pushed up by the British, kind of shifting the forces around here, because the Germans did push and take out a unit there, pushing down the line, move a guy out of Salerno, cover the road. So things are a little precarious there for the Allies. But didn't really get strong German attacks here because I kept Allies at least 2 units per hex, kind of move slow. Probably suboptimally play for the Germans. Let's see if they can do better on turn. So this is the beginning of turn 6. The only thing that happened is the Americans are pushing out here, but it's kind of sticking out. The Germans pushed down here, attacked. Americans counterattacked, but nothing happened. It was all exchanges. Trying to move the British down to protect Salerno. Oh no. Down here from this big push by the Germans. But this terrain is pretty sucky. And Germans are kind of all over the place. Probably not doing the Germans all that well, especially they should move down this plains area, but keeping the Allies all doubled up stacks to make sure in the open areas, and then kind of breaking apart for the hills. Is kind of keeping the Germans back for a bit. And on to turn. So turn 6 was a bit of a wash. The weather was rainy, and so it gave a left odds modifier, so no one really wanted to do any attacks, especially in the mountains. And so kind of readjusting the front line, moving units around, reinforce Salerno and the pass here, and moved guys up here, but also the Germans did that too. So it's quite a quiet turn, and on to turn. So I didn't really record turn 7 because it was another rain turn, and early on in the game here the supply is kind of low for the Allies, so using the artillery a lot they would have burned through quite a bit, and with the rain you get no supply, so it was really hurt the Allies trying to get stuff, and they went all out on the last turn here to try to take that city to win the last point for the scenario. But they couldn't. Alright, go on. So this is the end of this first scenario. Turn 8. The Allies needed to get 8 victory points, and that's the city right here. The German unit is holding right there, and the Allies tried to attack, used all the shift monitors to take it, but determined defense held, and the Germans won, all down to 1 die roll. So an interesting little quick game, but I mean the first scenario is the 8 turns, and you have a bunch more turns for the entire campaign, from 22 turns. So interesting small game here.